Student, good morning to one of all. Once again, you are welcome in the revision class. Today we will discuss or we will revise on the topic the component of cell or what is a cell made up of. It is the structural organization of a cell and it is goes like that. There is two kind of cells, plant cell and animal cells. Plant cell have three structural component that is called cell wall, plasma membrane and protoplasm. On the other hand, the animal cell is comprises of plasma membrane, that is also known as cell membrane, and protoplasm. Protoplasm is the living part of the cell that is surrounded by plasma membrane and composed of cytoplasm plus nucleus. So, nucleus plus cytoplasm is equal to protoplasm. You have seen the difference that in a plant cell there is a presence of cell wall, but in the animal cell wall is absent. Therefore, we normally considered as a typical cell is consisting of only plasma membrane, that is called cell membrane, and protoplasm. Protoplasm is included of cytoplasm and nucleus. Now come to the little description of plasma membrane, cell wall and cytoplasm. There is a little difference between protoplasm and cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the colloidal, viscous, jelly-like fluid located outside the nucleus and plasma membrane. It contains the cell organelles and inclusions in the jelly-like fluid or the liquid part, which provide platform for the occurrence of cell organelles, and that fluid part of cytoplasm is known as cytosol or cytoplasmic matrix. It means when you go through the plant cell or animal cell structure, except the nuclear part and the nucleus, all the liquid part which you are seeing in a cell of plant and animal, that is known as the cytoplasm or cytosol. So don't be confused, there is difference between cytoplasm and protoplasm. Protoplasm is all the fluid part inside the nuclear membrane. So this protoplasm is the living part of the cell surrounded by plasma membrane, and again it has two parts, that is the cytoplasm and the nucleus, and the nucleus itself contain the fluid part or it's a liquid part that we call the nucleoplasm. In my previous video I explained that what is the meaning of protoplast. So protoplast is the cell or the naked cell without cell wall, and it is only found in the plant cell. Protoplast not found in the animal cell. Now the second one is cell wall. Children, we know that all the plant cell, bacterial cell, blue-green algae, which is popularly called as cyanobacteria, is the outermost protective layer that we call the cell wall. Here the cell wall is the outermost protective layer. This cell wall is chemically made up of chemical substance that is called cellulose. Now the question is, what is a cellulose and hemicellulose? These are the derivatives of the carbohydrate. It means example of carbohydrate. Apart from these two chemical substances, calcium and magnesium pactate is also present in the cell wall. And there is a structural two component of a cell wall, or there is a two coat of a cell wall. That one is the primary cell wall, and the second one is called the secondary cell wall. In between these two coat, we will find there a middle lamella, and this middle lamella is characterized by the presence of this calcium and magnesium pactate. So sometimes the question is asked in MCQs, what are the chemical substance that is present in the middle lamella? The answer is calcium and magnesium pactate. One more structure we will find to the cell wall, that is a plasmodesmata. Plasmodesmata is an intercellular junction between two adjacent cells. The function of this plasmodesmata is it exchange the material between the cell. The function is between the cell, exchange some material from the nearby cells. So cell do the exchange process by the plasmodesmata also. Apart from the osmosis or diffusion, plasmodesmata also take part in exchange of the material. One of the another phenomena is seen in the cell wall. When a cell is put in the water, so after taking in the water, it exerts the pressure towards the wall. That is known as the wall pressure. And the cellular contents of the cell after taking the water become more turgid, means swelled up. So they exert the pressure towards the wall. That is called turgor pressure, and the wall compress the pressure created by the turgor, that is called wall pressure. So turgor pressure and wall pressure work in opposite direction. We can give the example of a football. While we fill the air inside the bladder of a football, so when the air rush in the bladder swell up, and the entire filled air of this bladder exert the pressure to the leather coating of the football. But the leather coating of football tends to press the pressure exerted by the bladder. So both the pressure work in opposite direction. The function of cell wall give the shape to the cell. It is also helpful in the prevention of diseases. It protects the cell from the infection, as well as it is also help out to the exchange of substance. Now a common bacteria or a prokaryotic cell, there are three type of cell: prokaryotic cell, example bacterial cell, animal cell and plant cell. Animal cell and plant cell is the example of eukaryotic cell, whereas the bacterial cell is example of prokaryotic cell. The one of the salient feature of the prokaryotic cell is these cells do not possess all the important cell organelles as it is found in the eukaryotic cell. Here you can see that This is the genetic material of a bacterial cell, which we call the DNA or chromosome. The DNA or the chromosome which is present in a bacterial cell or prokaryotic cell is direct in touch with the cytoplasm. This white portion is known as the cytosol or the cytoplasm. This region, the occurrence of genetic material of the prokaryotic cell in a bacterial is known as nucleoid. So nucleoid is sometimes called the genetic material of the bacterial cell or prokaryotic cell. Here you can also see that this is the tough coating of the cell wall, and it has a chemical called as peptidoglycan. Peptidoglycan protect the bacterial cell from the effect of antibiotics. It provides the immense power of the protection against the antibiotics. Here you can see there is a long rope-like structure that is called the flagella, and these flagella provide the movement to the bacterial cell. And below to the cell wall, here is a coating that is known as the plasma membrane or cell membrane, and these small dots are called as the ribosomes, and this is known as the cell inclusions. So the bacterial cell differ from the eukaryotic cell in a number of points. Pehla, this first one is the prokaryotic cells have their chromosome in single, and almost the eukaryotic cells contain in the doublet form, in the paired one. Second one is all the important cell organelles, that is Golgi body, plastate, vacuoles, endoplasmic reticulum, nucleus, is absent in the prokaryotic cell, but it is present on the prokaryotic cell. Here I am telling this is the ribosome, and this ribosome is in prokaryotic cell or a bacterial cell is a 70S type. 70S and 80S. This is the two type of ribosome. 70S for Swedberg constant. This is the one of the unit of the measurement of the ribosome. 70S, and that has the 80S. Eukaryotic have 80S type of ribosome. There is a division of ribosome. Ribosome are particularly two type, 70S type and 80S type. In the bacterial cell, mostly the division takes place by the process of binary fission, but in the case of the eukaryotic cell, it is by mitotic division or meiotic division. Cell division is by mitotic or meiotic division. Now there is a new term for you, mitotic and meiotic. Mitotic division means when this is a single cell and the cell undergoes division, it make two type of cells. It means once it divide by the mitotic, it will gives two daughter cell or two cells, and when it undergoes meiotic division, it produce four cells. So this is the difference in the cell division by binary fission, which is features of the prokaryotic cells. Now come to the plasma membrane or cell membrane. Plasma membrane or cell membrane is the first outermost protective layer in the animal cell, and the term plasma membrane was given by Nageli, that is Nageli, here is I think print is Nageli, 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 in 1885, and this plasma membrane separate the contents of the cell from its external environment. Apart from that, it is also useful in plants or animals to provide protection. It is a protective layer. It is a thin layer, it is transparent layer, and it is selectively permeable. Now what is the meaning of selectively permeable? Selectively permeable means it allow only some of the material from one cell to another cell. So plasma membrane work like this. Here this is, you can, it is matchstick like structure, protein bilipid layer. This is the lipid layer and it is the protein layer. Protein are embedded in the both the lipid layer. Therefore we normally we represent is PLLP, protein bilayer of lipid. So you can see there is a channel that we call the pores. Through that pores only certain molecules will be allowed, not all the molecule will enter. This is the meaning of selectively permeable. Selectively permeable membrane is example of plasma membrane. Plasma membrane only allows certain kind of substance in and out. Therefore it is called selectively permeable. You can see here there is outer, there is a more number of green dots, but here there is less number of. So always this takes place by the process of osmosis. Osmosis is a process by which molecules, ions, or the water move from a region of higher concentration to the lower concentration by the help of plasma membrane. Okay, so plasma membrane is selectively permeable membrane and it processes the osmosis. There is a difference between osmosis and diffusion and similarity. Similarity is that in both the cases flow of ions, gas or molecule takes place from a region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. The difference is that diffusion is the movement of a substance from a region of its higher concentration to the region of its lower concentration. Osmosis, the same process takes place, but there is a involvement of the semi-permeable membrane, and that is called selectively permeable membrane. So osmosis is a type of diffusion. Osmosis is a type of diffusion. The major function of this osmosis and diffusion in the plant cell or animal cell is gaseous exchange, distribution of molecules or ions, transportation of substance from one region to another region. These are the certain functions carried out by the osmosis, and we know that plasma membrane also have very important function that we will be discuss later on. See this picture once again. This structure is known as the protein and this is the lipid bilayer. Therefore the term PLLP, and the most salient or most important structure of plasma membrane was given by Singer and Nicholson in the 1972, and that is known as fluid mosaic model. The fluid mosaic model is the design to explain the structure of plasma membrane, and according to this model lipids are arranged in two layers that we call the lipid bilayer, and proteins are arranged in mosaic manner. Therefore, we call it the fluid mosaic model. The lipid bilayer are found in between the proteins, and that proteins may be intrinsic protein or extrinsic protein. Intrinsic protein means the proteins which is embedded in the lipid, and extrinsic means it is found on the outer region. So lastly, the function of plasma membrane. It provides mechanical support or act as a mechanical barrier that protect the internal contents of the cell. It provides definite cell. It provides a definite shape to the cell. Apart from that, just I told, it provides permeability, that is a selectively permeability of some of the molecules or ions from in and outside. It helps in the active transport and passive transport. Active transport and passive transport means when the molecules or the useful substance that moving from one cell to another cell, they normally follow either active transport or passive transport. Active transport require energy, and passive transport does not require energy. Now, one of the characteristic feature about the osmosis is tonicity. What is the meaning of this tonicity? Tonicity reveals about the relative concentration of the solutes dissolved in a solution. On that ground, we can find there is three type of solution: a hypertonic solution, B isotonic solution, and C hypotonic solution. In this previous slide, you can see that in a hypertonic solution, hyper means more concentrated, iso means equal concentrated, a hypo means less concentrated. When we put red blood cell in the hypertonic solution, what happened? Water will goes outside, that causes shrinkage of RBC. You can see this picture here. Water is moving outside. On the other hand, in the isotonic solution, the concentration of cell as well as medium is equal, so there is no effect. In hypertonic solution, what happened? The cell will intake the water. Water will go inside the cell. So what happened? The cell will be turgid or cell will be swelled. So it happens because of, first see the hypertonic solution. In this solution, the external solution is dilute. The external solution is dilute. It means the cell which is put in a medium, the medium, that is external solution, is dilute. Therefore the cell content will, that is water, will leave it, and it causes the shrinkage of the cell. Shrinkage of protoplasm, we called it the plasmolysis. So when the cell is put in the hypertonic solution, cell will be plasmolyzed. Cell will be the plasmolyzed. And in hypertonic solution, there is more water contents than that of the cell contents. And second one is the isotonic solution. In that case, medium as well the cell, the concentration of solution of medium and cell will be equal. So there is no change. But in the case of hypotonic solution, hy- in the case of hypotonic solution, what happened? The cell will take the water inside. When the water is moved into the cell, it is known as endoosmosis. And when the water will move out from the cell, it is called as exoosmosis. The hypertonic, in the hypertonic solution, hyper, I am telling hyper, in the hypertonic solution, there is water move outside, so it is exoosmosis, and it causes plasmolysis, it means shrinkage of protoplasm. But in hypertonic, cell will, cell is now, this is the cell, and you can see this arrow denote the entry of water. As a result of that, the water will move into the cell. As a result of that, the plant cell will be swelled up, that is called the turgid, that is called the turgid means swelled up of the cell or swelling of the cell. This is again in the little clear picture: hypertonic, isotonic, hypertonic. So in the hypertonic, hyper, plasmolysis will take place, exosmosis, iso, no change, hypertonic, cell will drink the water, cell will intake the water, and the volume of the cell will increase, that is called turgidity. Now this is the picture of a plant cell and animal cell. Go through that picture, and here we find some basic differences in the plant cell and animal cell. There are some common differences in this plant cell and animal cell. Is the plant cell having cell wall, but animal cell do not have the cell wall. Next one is, in the plant cell you will find plastids, but in animal cell you will not find the plastids. Third one is, most of the plant cells store the reserve food material in the form of starch, but in animal cell reserve food material is usually stored in glycogen or fat. Next difference is, a plant cell do not have centriole, but animal cell have centriole. Centriole is a cell organelle which is responsible for division of cell in animal cell. But in the plant cell, division also takes place. So in what way the division of plant cell takes place? The division of plant cell takes place by another mean that you will read in other class. Next, a mature plant cell contains a large vacuole, and in animal cell vacuole is either absent, or if present it is in minor, that is very small vacuole. So these are the certain differences between the plant cell and animal cell. Now my question is again, after seeing the plant cell and animal cell, what is the difference between organ and organelles? Is there a difference between organ and organelles? If you are saying these are the some structural part or the component that we call the cell organelle. Cell organelle. So cell organelles are very small sized, either microscopic or submicroscopic structure which perform a specific function to the cell. But organs are found in only multicellular organism. They may be large sized or microscopic. To run the body vital functioning, we require various organs. But to run the cell functioning, we require very small sized or some microscopic sized structure that is called as organelles. For example, ribosome, that function is protein synthesis, plastids that gives different color to the plant cell, help in the photosynthesis. Nucleus is another cell organelle which is a controller of the cell. So overall, this is enough for today. If there is any doubt or any questions rising in the mind, you are most welcome. You put up the question so that you will be highly benefited. Thanks to watching. May God bless you.